Okay, we're going to look at section 11.3, number 18, part A and part B. Once you get the first one down, you start seeing how this all works. On the A part, the confusion comes, I think, that a lot of students will take and just find the surface area with the formula of this rectangular or regular pyramid. So what happens is people say, oh, I need the formula for the pyramid and I need the formula for the rectangular prism. Well, what happens is you get too big an area. You come out with more answer than is the answer. You come out with too big a number. Because what happens is we're making this one shape. So you're not going to be counting these two, because even though they colored them differently, we're just finding the area of this shape altogether without the two bases, because they've been connected. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. We're not going to use the area formula for each one individually and sum them up. We're going to actually figure out by piece what they are. I think that's easier. You could find the whole area and then subtract one of the bases. You could find the whole area without the base. So you could, another way is, you could take the area formula for this without the base, just the part that gives you the size, and then add it to the area of this, but subtract out one of the area of the bases. I'm just going to do it by parts. I like building and creating them anyway. So what I did is I said, okay, well, let's look at this particular, and you always do have to pay attention. It does say that this face, let's start with the rectangular prism, and I'm looking at it sort of like this, that this is 7 by 3. So across here is 7, and then by 3. So I have a 7 by 3. Okay, let's talk about the rest of the faces while we're talking about it. So what would this face on top be? What's that length across there? 7. And what's that depth? Also by 3. So 7 by 3. Now this front face is parallel to the back face back here, isn't it? And it's also 7 by 3. Y'all see that back face back there? So it's also 7 by 3. So what do we know about this, about all these lateral faces here? They're all 7 by 3s. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shortcut my work and say, okay, let's call these the lateral face. We're going to call them the lateral faces. Right, with something a little darker here. Of the rectangular prism. And they are all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by 3s. And I have 4 of these. I have 4 7 by 3, and these just say units. They don't say centimeters or inches or anything. We're just going to call them units. Okay? Now what is the shape? A rectangle. What is the area of a rectangle? Length times width. So the area is 7 by 3. So the area is 21. And these are units times units, so that is units square. Area is always square. Alright, but we have 4 of these. So we have 4 sets of 21 units square. And so 4 times 21 is how much? 84 units square. Okay, so that gets those faces. That's our lateral faces. So while we're working on this, let's go ahead and look at it one more time. We don't need this. We've got all of this. Only thing we need now is this base down here. So let's look at our picture. And what is our base right here? It is a 3 by 3. So the base of the rectangular prism is 3 units across by 3 units deep. It's a 3 by 3. So the area is length times width, and it's really a square, so squares are sides squared, but that's what you're going to get. It's the same thing. 3 times 3 is the same as 3 squared. So the area of the base is 9 units squared. So I have 84, and I'm going to be adding 9 units squared to that. Alright, so that took care of, you'll look at our picture, that took care of all our faces around and our base. So that means we're moving on to the regular pyramid. A regular, the word, when you read the directions, it's nice to read it, because then that tells you that this length and this length, which we know has to correspond because all of these are 3, we know all of these are going to be 3 around here also, this distance. So I know that this distance right across here is 3. And how do I get the area of a triangle? Okay. Because I know this is 3, and I know all their heights, let me just take this apart. Because I know this is 3, and aren't all their heights the same, because it's a regular pyramid. They all meet at this vertex up here. So all these heights are the same, all their bases are the same, and so you could find the area of one of these, and then how many will there be? There's going to be 4 sides, so there's 4 faces. Okay, there's 4 sides, so there's 4 faces. Okay, so we know that my triangle, it has a height of 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it has a base of how many units? 3. And this is kind of weird because that means I got to go 1.5. I kind of got to split this 1.5. You see how that makes my 3? So there is my height. That's just to draw it kind of accurately. We could have just labeled it without trying to draw it perfectly. Alright, so we know it is 5 units high. It is 3 units wide. And the area of a triangle is 1/2 the base times the height. And y'all just reminded me that we have 4 of these. So that's 1/2 the base times the height. And that's 1/2 of 15 units, which is 7.5 units squared. Alright, that's the area of one of these, but we have 4 of these. So y'all help me out. 4 sets of 7.5 would be 4 times 7 is 28. And another, is that 30? Alright, so let's check, make sure we've got everything. We've got our 4 faces, we've got our base, and we've got our 4 faces of our pyramid. And so we're going to add those up. The 84 units squared, the 9 units squared, and the 30 units squared. And what did you get? That's right, that sounds right, because that's 13 carry 1, 9, 10, 11. Is that what y'all got? Alright, so in class and online students, from the textbook, we came up with 123 square units for the shape that looks like this. Alright,